Hi, everyone. My name is Meryl Stewart. I'm CEO of Marketing and Business Solutions. And today I wanted to dive into a topic of conversation that I personally believe is more important than anything when you're working on a marketing campaign. And it really doesn't matter what it's for. It can really honestly be for anything, any initiative, anything that you want to target people's support. And it's the audience piece of it. I had a phone call the other day. We were looking at some business development opportunities for our company and how we market ourselves. And one of the questions that this person asked me on the phone was, what's your target audience? What's your ideal audience? And I had a very specific definition of that, as you might imagine. But what it also made me think in the additional questioning was that I don't know that they had really thought through how to ask me the questions about who my audience is. They kind of asked one or two kind of very generic things. And I thought, as a marketing person, that if I'm talking to someone else who's potentially wanting to help market me in our company, that they probably need to be asking me some additional questions. And so it made me think of this topic today, and to kind of expand on it a little more and really kind of help you understand the importance of really targeting your audience. And it seems like a no-brainer, right? Like it's something that we assume that we've is just going to be part of the process. But I think a lot of times when we are creating messaging and information, we think about what we know, and we think about how we would write it, and we think about how we might react to it, or someone that we know that maybe is probably closer to the situation than is a good kind of barometer for that. And I think what's important is to think about what's happening on the outside. What's the outward facing mechanism with this, and with your audience. Although many times you may be marketing to an internal audience within your company, but most of the time you're marketing to people outside of your company. And so the message that you would tell people internally is probably not the same message you're going to be telling people externally, because the course of action is different. So I wanted to talk a little bit, dive into this audience piece, and talk through just some things you really need to think about as you're defining your audience, which again could be for anything. So the first question that I ask is, who is your target audience? And I know that might seem like a loaded question, but here are some things to think about that will help kind of break this down. One is who do you want to reach, and what do you need to know about them? I know we've talked in other episodes, discussions about, really understanding the pain points of your audience. And I really think that can't be stressed enough. It's really hard to market something to someone that does not have a need for what you do. It's a lot easier to market to people that have a need for what you do and have some kind of pain or need or challenge that they need to have met in a different way, and you provide that solution. So really thinking about the people or the customer or the audience that you want to talk to, and how what you do might reach them or solve a problem for them in some fashion. But it's also really important to understand, as a business, what it is, or an individual, who that audience is. Is it another consumer? Is it a business that you're marketing to? I mean, how we work with nonprofit clients versus for-profit clients is different. The processes may be similar. The end product might be similar to some degree, but how we talk about it, how we position it, how we work with those clients is going to be a little different, because I need to talk to my nonprofit clients in a way that they understand the language of the nonprofit industry. I need to talk to my for-profit clients in a way that they understand the language of their industry. I can't create the same message for both sides. They don't speak the same terms. In fact, they use different terms that have similar meanings. So really understanding who that audience or customer is important. The other thing is the demographic data. We were working with a client a couple months back, and they kind of had this very broad initial approach to wanting to market what they did. And although that's great, it's really hard to know where people and how people are responding when you haven't really kind of fine-tuned it. And the other part of that that was important was that their product and service really wasn't geared towards everybody. When you kind of were diving into it, it was geared towards a specific somebody with a specific issue that happened to fall in a specific demographic. And so when you're thinking about how you market things, it's really important to know that, because it helps you target your campaigns. It helps you spend your money on that advertising or those marketing efforts in a very strategic way, as opposed to kind of throwing money at something and hoping that it's going to work. It's much easier to track success and metrics and movement on your goals when you've really focused and targeted in. Another thing that is really important, I know I've talked about this before, but is really those key motivators. What is going to motivate your audience to take action? And that's very much tied to their pain points, or what motivates them, right? What is it that you're trying to do that they need? That motivates them to want to do something. If I need to go buy a new car, and I'm motivated because I don't have any transportation and I need that vehicle in order to do other things that I have responsibilities for, I'm much more motivated to go find a car quicker, than I would be if I really didn't need a vehicle and I could take my time and, kind of shop around, and there wasn't this pressure. But that motivating factor in that scenario is that I need transportation. I need a way to be able to take care of the things that I'm responsible for, and having a vehicle is what makes sense. So really understanding that about your audience is important. And I know a lot of times, we think, okay, well, we'll just throw up some social media ads, we'll promote things on Facebook, we'll, reach out on other platforms, we'll do a digital marketing campaign. But the first thing that most of those people ask is, who's your audience? Who are you trying to talk to, and what do you want them to do? Because as marketers, we have to understand that we are trying to change human behavior to your benefit, to help you, promote your service or product or brand in a way that people are going to respond. And I think the last thing that's really important about audience is their communications habits. It's not the same for everybody. There are different demographics of people that respond to things in different ways. And I know that seems like something that, yeah, of course, I know that. But when you put it into practice, it's really important to make sure that what you've chosen to do and how you've chosen to do it align with the platforms on which people respond. Not everybody is watching this. Not everyone's going to tune into YouTube and check out these episodes. Sometimes I have to put things in front of people through an email, or I have to make a phone call, or I have to show up to that networking meeting. All of those ways help contribute to the overall kind of strategy of how we do business development and how we help our clients do that. So it's not a one-stop shop. It's not throw all my money in this direction and that's going to, create all the results I want. In fact, we were having a conversation the other day with a potential client who wants to achieve a goal. And, there are going to be multiple things that we are going to have to test. We're going to have to test to see if the audience will respond, because they don't even have a track record of advertising. So, there is some play involved in marketing. I think that it's gotten, tremendously better in being able to really track specific outcomes and measurement to really understand your return on investment. But those communication habits of your audience are a huge component of that, because if you're not using the right channels to communicate to your audience, you may not even be reaching the people that you're hoping to reach. And then it makes it really hard to continue to invest and continue your marketing initiatives if you're not quite sure if they're working. So I hope that helps you today. It's something that I'm passionate about, because I love to see, the plans that people want come to fruition, and our team be a part of that for many of our clients. But it's such a critical part of the marketing process. And if you spend a little bit of time on it, I promise you it'll go a long way in really being able to realize what you're hoping to do for yourself and your business moving forward. If you'd like to learn more about what we do, please visit www.mymabs.com. That's MYMABS.com. You can leave a comment on our feeds, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please reach out with any questions. We're happy to help you and guide you and set you in the right direction, and look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a great day.